in.
Ooh, we are live.
Yeah, what are you doing there, Retro?
Digging in the old school game carts.
Yeah, digging in my game drawer.
Yeah, digging in the crates there.
Nice.
I want to get the new one, the new N64 retro system that's coming out by Hyperkin. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah, Hyperkin put out some awesome stuff. They put really good stuff out.
Oh, yeah, I have the Retron 5, and that's my favorite system right there.
I'm gonna post this on Twitter real quick. Go ahead, guys, keep talking. just posting, getting that stuff done. Yo, QA, what was that that handheld? You did a handheld video not too long ago.
Oh,
like a retro. that looked pretty dope.
The RG350. Gosh, do I have it?
Those are bad.
Yeah,
I think.
I saw it. I was like, wow. I was interested in that.
Oh, it might be in the living room.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So that thing, if you're not looking to like do anything too crazy, like just like PlayStation, like no more than PlayStation, obviously like.
No, just retro, just retro stuff.
Just retro, but like anything past that, like I think it can boot up to N64, but like
nice.
it like lags a lot, so it's kind of like not worth it.
Okay.
But it's a nice little cool handheld. It's cheap too. I mean, it's like I think it was like $68 for it.
Okay.
You know, and you just like load it up or whatever. But yeah, I recommend it. You know, it's obviously not a Switch or anything like that.
Yeah. But it's cool though.
Yeah, you guys heard of you know, obviously like the what is it, the Sega Genesis Nomad?
Oh yeah.
No. It's like super obscure. So Sega Genesis Nomad actually plays Sega cartridges. It's like a Game Gear, but it actually plays real Sega carts.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. I have that thing, but it's like super huge compared to like the RG350. It's like ginormous compared to it.
What's like as big as Atari Lynx?
Oh, the Nomad. It's actually it's actually that big.
Bulky, really bulky,
super bulky.
Is it as big as the new Xbox coming out? That's what I want.
You're gonna get a negative response from me anyway because I'm a PlayStation guy. I hate Xbox. Boo Xbox.
Me too. Xbox gets 2 thumbs down from me.
Yeah.
I have 2 Xboxes in my game room and they're gone.
Oh, no, I'll tell you what. My favorite Xbox games that are only on Xbox is Left 4 Dead series, like from Left 4 Dead 360.
That's what got me into gaming, dude. Like online gaming, anyway.
Halo
is legit. I wish Sony got Halo.
The original Halo.
Yeah, I used to.
They're redoing Halo. It's going to be in a bundle.
That's going to be awesome. Yeah,
maybe it'll come to Switch.
Yeah. I wish it would come to Sony. But
that would be bad.
No, I got into. Wow. Okay. I got into Microsoft because whatchamacallit, Elder Scrolls Oblivion and Gears of War.
Oh yeah.
It was something about Gears of War.
Gears of War.
Here's my take on it. Okay, I like Xbox over PlayStation only because the controller is amazing. I think they have a really great controller. I hate the PlayStation controller. And honestly, there's really there's no exclusive games on the PlayStation that really interest me. That's really the reason.
Okay.
But,
yeah.
But Final Fantasy?
I could never get into that series.
I think one of my favorite PS4 exclusive is MLB The Show. I'm a big baseball fan.
Okay.
So I love MLB The Show.
Yeah, they have the rights to the baseball. So
yeah, that's an awesome series.
That's sick.
And without baseball season being on right now, it's like the only thing I have going.
Let the computers pick the games out.
Yeah. Pretty much fantasy world.
Did you guys ever play the Medieval remake on the PS5?
No.
On the PS5?
Remember the game Medieval that was on PS1? It was a skeleton.
I played Medieval for the PS1, but that's as far as I got.
Yeah, they had a remake on the PS5.
PS4.
I'm sorry, PS4.
Oh,
Oh no, dude, you got a
PS5?
PS5? Hey, we're going to your house, Cloudy. Where's that PS5?
I was about to say. I was actually wondering, like, man, I wonder if there was like a demo for PS5.
It's only one game.
That'd be awesome. I don't even know if it's gonna drop this year anymore with all this stuff going on.
No,
I mean,
think
they're
it came
still
out, though.
targeting.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the new controller for it? It's kind of weird.
I'm not a fan.
At first, I thought it was like a touch sensitive, but it's not. I don't know.
I know they changed the title to Touch Sense, so that gives you a I thought maybe it was more touch capabilities, but no.
I'm just mad that they changed the thumbsticks. I used to love the PS2 thumbsticks.
Yeah.
They were kind of like round. I used to love that.
Blackassgamer, what's going on, dude? He's texting and
Oh, I'll say he's on here.
Where is he?
he's in the chat box.
He's in the chat box.
Doing our first test run.
What's up, everybody in the chat box?
It's not
Yeah,
it's official.
We're just doing random stuff right now.
All right, guys, I'm already done doing all this stuff right now. I just realized that I can go into my YouTube studio and do other stuff with it. So the last time I didn't know I can do that. So when I cut the stream off from Zoom, it was still going in YouTube and it kept showing that I was live for a while. And then
I saw that.
Some guy popped up and he kept being a nuisance for a minute. It seemed cool, seemed okay, but he kept asking all these questions and I finally realized, okay, I have to be on the studio part and then cancel this.
Yeah, that was a weird thing. Like, was when you ended the stream, I went back to YouTube and you were still on there. So I clicked on the video. It kept on looping the last 5 seconds of the whole thing.
Yeah,
it was weird.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
All right, who wants to go first? Someone talk about themselves. And how did you say it on Retro? You were saying
what? Oh yeah, kind of like you talk a little bit about yourself, your introduction, like what got you into video games and where you are now, and what's your favorite game?
Oh gee whiz, favorite game.
Favorite game of all time, or
I don't know, just a favorite game of yours, whichever it may be.
Just pick one console and just your
all right,
favorite game
we're
off that
gonna
console.
one up, level up.
Oh, man.
You go first. One up, go first.
Oh, you want me to go first? All right.
I'm going last.
All right, that's fair.
How about you, Mr. Switch, go first because you started this whole thing.
Ah, dang it.
Got
Hey,
him.
that's what I said earlier to him. Come on. Hey, I can see you right there in the corner.
Okay, guys, I'll go first. I don't know. I don't want to make it too long. Let's say how this all started. I guess I was 5 years old. I remember playing 5 or 6. I was playing Atari. I was playing, I remember playing Battle Zone. All I can remember is shooting some other tanks. That's all I can remember from then, but I wasn't into gaming as much until maybe about a year or so later when Nintendo came out. I was still too young. My older brothers were always on it, a lot better than me. I was a young kid, but when Super Nintendo came out, I think back in the early 90s or so, or everything just clicked, and from there on, it was just like a love for life kind of thing. I always loved even before just NES, but I always wanted to play the video games. But as time went on, I collected every single game system. I had everything to think of, from the Game Boy printers, the cameras, to all that stuff. I was crazy. I was waiting every month for a Nintendo Power magazine to come in the mail. I was just dedicated. I got married, and I was forced to make a choice between marriage and gaming. So, and I sold everything. It was 2002, and I gave up all that stuff. And maybe later on, because the other person did not like the how do you say, the passion that I had. So, but it's okay. Nothing wrong to say. That's just how things turned out. But then, as maybe 2009 came, I maybe about a year before, I was starting to recollect the systems along the way. Divorced in 2009, but at that point I gave up gaming completely. 2009 I was done. I was depressed and divorced, and I went into I was at the gym a lot and things like that, and just focusing on my children. But the inspiration came back maybe about 4 months before the Switch came out. I just started seeing all this stuff happening. So then all of a sudden I'm seeing Obi-Wan Plays, if you heard of him.
Yep.
And I was watching him, and he just got me into this. So I drove to New York City a month before, watching this kid named what's his name, CND.
CND.
And I made this crazy costume, you guys. I don't know if you guys haven't seen it. I should have.
Yeah, with
crazy switch thing.
With the Mexican hat.
I went crazy. So I did this cool thing, and they all went trippy over there. The system came out, I got it. That's when I said, you know what? That's when Mr. Switch came along and started at that point, and I just continued on. And I would just say from there, gaming is passion. I should never let it go from the get-go. You know, I should have always kept it there, and I let emotions get to it. But down to now, it's just like, man, it's just great. I've been able to meet you guys between Twitter and YouTube, and make a ton of friends. It's a hard road too, because a lot of people are all doing the same thing. You know, I try to increase my sub count. Now I'm just like, whatever, I don't care. Just make friends, just enjoy it. They'll come and go. However, only the true friends will stay. So I would say that's pretty much sums up a quick version of how I started with gaming. It's just been a passion. And I'm just going to say a quick statement. Next week, I cannot wait. I want to do a live stream of Final Fantasy VII, not the remake, but the original part when Ares dies. I gotta do that. I almost cried last night playing that shit again. Oh man, it's just like it brings back all that nostalgia, man, for real. Yeah. But I'll finish by saying I can clearly say that Final Fantasy VII is up there too. But my favorite game of all time will be Zelda: A Link to the Past. So just want to let you guys know that's a quick review. You have any other questions? Ask me privately or right now. All right, who's going next?
I can go next.
All
right. So, as you guys are fully aware, that I have a huge passion for Nintendo. I started back all the way on the NES. My grandfather had it, and the first game I ever played was Super Mario Brothers 3. You guys heard of that game, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
I would literally play that game all day, every day. And I don't recall ever beating it, but I just loved playing it because you didn't have saves back in the day. So I could never really get through it. But that really sparked my passion for gaming. And from there on, I just had every single Nintendo console that's ever came out. But having said that, I think the Switch is by far my favorite Nintendo console of all time. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And I think it's the one console that I played the most so far. Yeah, I mean, and I'm having a hard time trying to think of what my favorite game would be because I have so many games. But I would have to say my favorite game of all time, as of right now, would have to be Zelda Breath of the Wild, because that game trying to put into words here. It sparked something in me that got me into going into YouTube, and I wanted to try this thing. So I think it was the adventure of it, and it kind of brings you out of the world that you're in because, you know, real world sometimes can be kind of a lonely place. So it kind of gets you into a fantasy world and you don't have to worry about anything else. And I think that's why I like it the most. But if you want to go for like favorite genre, I would have to say shooters, and that would be BioShock collection. The BioShock series is my favorite series. So, yeah.
That's dope. That's cool. I mean, at least for me, it's always been arcades. My father, he used to, he's a mailman, so he worked part-time at a pizza place. So he'll pick me up and tell me, look, just wait here while I do some deliveries, whatever. And I'll be playing, you know, Pac-Man, Galaga, you know, Donkey Kong. And that was like one of the first times I started playing video games. Then I had a neighbor of mine. He kept telling me about this video game he had about this guy that he gets big when he eats a mushroom and fire flowers and spitballs. And I'm like, dude, you're full of shit. Like, there's no way, you know, there's no way. I went to his house. When I saw it, I just fell in love, man. I told my parents about it. My dad said no. My mom at the time, there was a store called Zayre's, and they were closing. And she was able to get the Nintendo for like, I think $50. got me the Nintendo with the 3 games. It had Mario, Duck Hunt, and the Power Pad, and that was it, man. I just got hooked with that, with the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, everything, man. Just every console. You know how it is. You know how it was when you went to school. They'll talk about the games and stuff. Hey, man, this game here, blah 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 blah. So it was a good culture to be in at the time, man. It's awesome. I've just been hooked ever since, man. I would never trade it for the world, man. Never trade it. As far as favorite game, I have a lot of favorite games in different consoles, but the one that kind of sticks out to me is hold up, let me see. I'm trying to figure out, man, who hold up. See, hold up, guys. I'm just trying to figure out what's the name of this guy, man. It has to be Mega Man 2, man. Mega Man 2 is my favorite game. I must have rented that game 1,000,001 times until my dad was like, "Oh yeah, buy the fucking game." I'm spending $20 a week on Mega Man 2 and go for it. So Mega Man 2, man, it was something about that game. When as soon as you press start, man, that menu pops up and the music comes up, and I'm like, hold up, you get to pick each character you want to fight, but then you got to go through a level, and each level is different. The music and Dr. Wily, and dude, I can never get bored of that freaking game, bro. That game is always in my heart. Yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man.
Very good, man. Good story. Who's next?
That's you, QA. I'm last.
Oh,
Save the
cool.
best for last.
So my gaming story is kind of fun. So I have an older brother, and so he actually lives in California too, in Retro. I think he lives in Oxnard, so it's like Southern Cal. But so when I was growing up, we're from Connecticut. Growing up, for us, our first console was Nintendo. You know, the original Nintendo. My brother used to play it in the living room. And then my story kind of started when my parents got us Sega Genesis. And, you know, so for me, like having that system, like, you know, my brother used to hog it up all the time. He never let me play. So we used to get into fights in the living room because he would hog up, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog and all that fun stuff. So I think that's when my affinity to Sega started to grow. And so I got into Sega Genesis. And then my brother, when Super Nintendo came out, I remember a few years after that, it came out with I don't know if you guys remember, it was a Killer Instinct package that came out with Super. It was packaged with Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And my brother wound up getting that for Christmas, so I was able to have the Sega Genesis all to myself. I was completely happy because he was all up on Super Nintendo at that time. And then a couple of years later, so this is actually kind of interesting. I want to say this was I'm dating myself now a little bit. 96. Or it might have been, no, it was Christmas of 96, Toys R Us threw like a special where if you bundle like maybe 10 of your Super Nintendo or games and a couple controllers, they'd give you $100 they're called Jeffrey dollars. I don't know if anyone remembers that from Toys R Us. There's like a gift certificate towards Toys R Us where you can use it towards the purchase of a PlayStation or a Sega Saturn. And me, I was like, oh, we got to get the Sega Saturn. They got Virtua Fighter. They might have a Sonic game eventually. But my brother was like so dead set on getting a PlayStation. So we wound up getting a PlayStation instead. And I was so upset. But I actually, believe it or not, long story short, he started to gravitate towards PlayStation. So since then, I've kind of been like hooked on PlayStation. So all the systems I've had, you know, since then was PS1. I have a PS2. I skipped over PS3. And I have a PS4. I don't really play it that much. I'm still more like on the retro game scene. But in terms of like my favorite games, I can't pick one per se. I mean, well, my favorite console of all time is PlayStation. But Retro would probably guess this correctly. My favorite game of all time, I would probably say, is Sonic 2. That's the one game that like it just gives me such good memories. It's the first game I ever beat from start to finish. I was in love with Sonic. I always thought he was just the coolest guy. And then I would say a close second, believe it or not, would actually be off the Super Nintendo. And my second favorite game would be Donkey Kong Country 2 with Diddy and Dixie Kong. That game, I think it has like the best soundtrack of all time for any. So yeah, and then maybe my third favorite would probably be like Crash Bandicoot for PlayStation.
Yeah.
And then and then as far as arcades, my favorite arcade would probably be Street Fighter Championship Edition.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Like the background.
Yes.
Hey man,
So, yeah. That's pretty much my story.
So I'm the only one that doesn't have a PlayStation here.
No. I got a PS2. Don't worry.
I got a PS2 and a PS1. We're good.
All right, who's next? Who's the last one?
That's Richard.
Right here. I'm a storyteller, so I'm going to try to cut it as close to short as I can. So you can ask my friends. So I'm going to wrap it up close to 15 minutes. That's
15 minutes.
Sorry.
What's up,
Okay,
Mac?
so it started out with boom and boom, Atari. My mom was not a gamer, but my dad was, and my aunt. And my dad and my aunt were twins. So they'd always game together. And so was my uncle. My uncle had a ColecoVision, and my dad had the Atari. So we started out with the old school joysticks. So we had fun with that with kids. And I didn't know at the time that Nintendo was out. Because Nintendo's been out since, what, 85? Was it 85?
I think so.
And so my aunt, what she would do is she would have us appreciate the earlier systems so we can get to know the new systems. My aunt was like a big gamer. You would never, I guess, when she was alive, she would game all the time. But she looked like a pretty girl, but she was a gamer. And I told my wife, you know, if my aunt were alive today, I bet she would be a YouTuber. She'd be like that person that's a YouTuber streaming. It'd be cool. So anyway, we started out playing that, and then we played Nintendo. And when my dad got with my stepmom, she gave us our first NES because my stepbrother, he had a Sega, like the original Sega, Sonic and Knuckles. And then so we got passed down the Nintendo, and it was the coolest thing because I got hooked on, unfortunately, I don't have the card of it, but Adventure Island 2 and Adventure Island 3. We would go down to the local video store, and I don't know, it's just something about that game that I would go and rent it. And the guy was super cool. He said, keep it as long as you need to, as long as you come in once a week and let me know you still have it. So he would let me keep it forever. And it was cool. And then PC started rolling around at the time. So Sega and PC. So I was torn between Nintendo, Sega, you know, you got Sega right here. And then PC. Well, that's when I first started playing Wolfenstein, the original DOS Wolfenstein. I don't know if you guys have ever played it. Like QA had said, I'm probably dating myself, but I believe that was 1993 or 1994. And anyway, I'm going to backtrack just a little bit. My aunt, we'd go over her house, and she always had the latest system. So she had the Super Nintendo, and I heard a noise in the living room. I was like, what are you playing? She goes, oh, this is the new Super Nintendo. I was like, what the heck is a Super Nintendo? I'm like, what the heck is this? And so we all sat down, and there was like the two controllers, and she said, you guys can play it. She goes, I just got it. So her and I would sit there, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I would tell my friends, they're all, what's Super Nintendo? I'm like, you guys got to play one. And so that way we didn't have to buy one. My aunt, she had us go over and we played games, and that was cool. And then so anyway, years on down the road, a bunch of cool stuff started popping up. These Game Boy Advance, SPs, the Game Boy Color, it started saturating like the market. My friends in junior high, they all started having all the Game Boys, and I was like, well, you can tell from my background, I've started out with Nintendo. And but I'm no respecter. I like Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, the whole thing. But Nintendo's right here. And so we would always play, and even though we didn't have one growing up, our friends would have them. So I was like, well, I don't need to buy one. My friends got it. We all shared, and it was cool. And then later on down the line, I tried the Virtual Boy. Have you guys ever heard of the Virtual Boy? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red and black.
Yeah.
Those are collectibles now.
I remember playing
Yep.
it for hours with my friends in high school, doing things we weren't supposed to, you know, but playing the Virtual Boy nonetheless. Playing it for hours, and we'd wake up with these mass headaches because of the red and black screens. And you were just like, what the heck just happened? And then putting it back on, not even caring because you're a teenager.
Do you have
in
one?
high school. Huh?
Do you have one?
I wish it was my sister was dating this guy at the time, and it was his. But he was super cool. He let us borrow it or whatever.
Nice.
But yeah, they're hard to find. But I remember playing the N64 at my mom's friend's house. He was like well in his mid 30s, but playing Super Mario 64. And well, I don't have the cart, but I do have like other 64 carts. But playing it, and it was just that, and PlayStation at the time were locking keys and they were competing. And man, I played the 64. I went over to a friend's house. He had PlayStation, playing Final Fantasy VII. I didn't even know what an RPG was at the time. And we played it all night long, literally all night long. And it was like till the system got hot, but he kept saving it. And it was the funnest thing. I was like, dude, this doesn't compare to the N64. I was like, oh, it's different. N64 is still cool. But the PlayStation was cool because it had like something about the graphics on the PS1 was just amazing. So they started hitting the market. And then years on down the road come by, and Nintendo had like the Wii and the GameCube, and I wasn't really into it then. And then I kind of got into PC gaming and stuff like that, playing StarCraft and Warcraft, the original StarCraft, original Warcraft. And early 2000, emulators started coming out. 1999, early 2000. And my friend, he went to college for computer science and stuff. So he started showing me how to build computers, and we were building gaming computers. Nice. And he's like, you ever heard of like an emulator? I was like, what the heck's an emulator? And he's all, do you know what a ROM is? I was like, what the heck's a ROM? I'm like, I was just dumbfounded. I was like, no, the original, like the cartridge. He goes, no, it's all digital. And I was like, are you sure that's legal? He goes, I don't know if it's legal, but we're playing it. I was like, all right, dude, I better not get arrested, or the government better not swarm my house, because if they do, I'm taking it back to you, buddy.
Or worse, the Nintendo ninjas.
Yeah. And he said, as long as you play it off of a CD, you'll be cool. So I still have the same CDs he gave me back in 2001. I swear, they're in our gaming.
I have beef with Nintendo, actually, with in terms of emulators. A lot of us emulator.
Every other company is cool with it, except for Nintendo. They're really particular about their IP, but I don't know why I still like it, but you know. So anyway, started emulating on my computer, and then my brother and I, we would LAN, no kidding, LAN Super Nintendo games with Cat5 cables. We would have emulators that would emulate the game, so we would be able to LAN playing Super Mario World. And we never heard of that before. YouTube wasn't even like a thing back then. So we just figured out how to do it, looked at it, and we would LAN Super Nintendo. And to me, I was like, what the heck? This is so cool. We're streamlining that. And if we were YouTubers, that would be a cool thing, you know, because back then there was no real YouTube. Google, I think back then was called Dogpile or something a long time ago. Back in the day, Google wasn't even a thing. Sorry, I'm taking a lot of time. I got a lot of stories.
Nah, you're good, man. You're good.
And so at any rate, came out.
Oh.
On PlayStation, like, really, Nintendo, what's going on here? They're going digital, but the Wii was super cool. I remember getting my first Wii. My grandma bought it for me. I think it was the thing, and she bought me my first Wii as a Christmas gift for me and my wife and the kids, and we played it, and my brother goes, hey, do you know you can hack the Wii? And I'm like, I'm like, put my hat down. I was like, dude, are you kidding me? I'm like, first you guys are showing me how to emulate back in 2000. Now you guys are showing me how to like hack the Wii. And I'm like, I said, is it legal? I asked him the same question and he goes, I don't know. He's all, just leave it off the internet. And I'm like, oh, dude, don't even tell me. So anyway, that's another story. But I ended up getting into Nintendo, and then Sega kind of like dipped off for a minute, and they got just into, instead of consoles, they got into just games, which was cool because they were able to develop different games. So they were still a thing. And me and my wife got together, and luckily she wasn't heavy into games, but she liked video games and she didn't even care that it was even a thing. So my wife ended up being, she's my gaming buddy and can beat the pants off of me on a what's it called? Oh, Mario Kart. So it's cool. And yeah, no, I tried. I mean, literally, my wife's competitive. I tried using different guys and different weapons, and trust me, I don't care. It's cool. But anyway, so my dad's a gamer, my brother's a gamer, I'm a gamer, and I met all you guys from being gamers, but I'm gonna wrap it up. My favorite all-time game, and like I was saying, my aunt passed away when I was 10, and this is the only reason legit that this is my favorite game. I don't have a card of it yet because they're super duper expensive, and it may seem kind of like a silly game, but it's just because it's like a memory to me. It's Super Mario World for Super Nintendo. Her and I would play that game for hours, like legit for hours, and I'll be playing it on the Wii because we have it on the shop on there. Sorry, I'm getting a little choked up. Got something in my eye. Just kidding. I'm not a robot, so if something leaks out of my eye, it's cool. But anyway, my wife sees me, and I'll be looking at I'll just stare at the TV while I'm playing, and she'll try to get my attention. And normally I'll answer her, but when I'm playing that game, there's just something that takes me into the zone, and I close my eyes, and I imagine my aunt right there with me. And then I told my wife that one day, like that story I told you guys, if my aunt were alive today, she'd be one of the most popular YouTubers around playing Nintendo. So that's my most favorite game of the day. And I do have a Switch, so I'm moving forward. But that's my story.
Awesome.
The short story.
Yeah,
That's the short part.
That's the short part.
Hey, real quick, how are you guys doing that? I just seen that whatchamacallit, what's his name? Cloudy Mind just changed his background. I do not know how to do that.
I was supposed
it's on the PC.
I was supposed to do it when I was talking about my favorite game, but I forgot.
We need a tutorial.
You gotta go to
Cloudy, that's a cool background, bro.
I know,
like,
man.
Yeah.
You gotta go to where it says stop video on the arrow. Hit that and look at video settings, and then go to virtual background. You could put whatever background you want, either video or picture.
God.
Yeah, it green screens you. Like you don't even have to have green screen. It green screens you.
Yeah.
If you're on a PC or a iPad or an iPhone, it does that.
Working on it. Let's see.
Yeah, because for a second I thought Ninja was at an actual arcade place. I was like, hold on.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, what the fuck? This guy got
I'm gonna steal one more favorite game.
Go ahead,
Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII.
That's like my favorite RPG of all time. Final Fantasy VII.
Because it was derived from this bad boy right here.
Yes.
Boom.
Oh,
The original.
Yes.
The original.
I never
this
played
one
that
had
one. I
Dragon Ball
always
here.
seen that in the Nintendo Power.
Yeah, those were cool Nintendo Power magazines.
I used to. You guys remember GamePro?
Yes.
Dude,
I used to be
GamePro.
a subscriber to GamePro. I used to love that. I used to come in every month in the back and get the cheats and the codes in the background in the back of the magazine. It was so cool.
I was never a subscriber. I used to just go skip school and go to the mall and go to Walden Bookstore and just look at all the magazines there.
No,
Write down codes.
I always went to the gasoline station.
I see Switches playing
You
with
had
his
'em there.
background.
I know. I'm like playing. What is this?
something's weird going on with the head.
Keep talking. I'm trying to mess with this.
Hey, Recho, you remind me of a story when you were talking about LAN parties. Me and my buddies, we used to have pull all of our TVs, like the big box TVs, and have all of our Xboxes, and we used to LAN Halo all the time.
Dude,
Dude, we did that for years until about like 6 or 7 years ago, and then we all kind of just went our separate ways. But man, those were great. I wish we were still doing those.
Oh yeah.
Halo is like.
I told my wife I miss it. LAN parties were like so much fun because it was a lot of work taking either your PlayStation or the computers, lugging all that stuff. But it was something about the setup, the being there with the people. Just the whole thing was worth it. Once you got that setup done, and you were just like, all right, it's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, we would have like 16 of us. And we would just do matches after matches, like it would be an entire weekend. We would have a barbecue. We'd just stay there for those 3 days, and it was a good time.
In fact, my nephew, I had this LAN cable for like 15 years, but it's like a really, really good quality one. He called me. He's all, "Hey, you got a LAN cable?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's all, because the Wi-Fi, everybody sucks up the Wi-Fi. He's all, "I'm just gonna connect it directly to the router so I can play my games." I was like, "Yeah, you can have it." It was from when I used to LAN with my brother. It was a 100-foot LAN cable.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, good quality. I had it since I was, how old am I now? I'm 20 or 30, not 20. I'm 36. So I had it since I was 22, 14 years old. My LAN cable.
I hated those Xbox controllers, man. They were so bulky. I hated them.
Hey, I don't know if it's true or not. I saw somebody, I forgot what the YouTuber's name was, but it had like the Nintendo logos on it. It looked like Nintendo was coming out with a new Mario Kart.
Maybe.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
It had all the Super Smash Bros. Characters in it, but they said it was a leak, but there's a lot of fake news on the internet, so I didn't want to assume that it was real.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they would add all the Smash characters into a Mario Kart game. They wouldn't be Mario Kart anymore, but
yeah, kudos to them though. It looked legit. Like the characters looked legit.
I do feel like though there's another Mario Kart coming out either this year or next year, just because Mario Kart 8, that was back on the Wii U. It's already like 6 years old almost.
It's
so like we're due for another one.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was just a port of the Wii U.
The F-Zero.
They need
F-Zero Racing.
They need to bring back F-Zero. That's awesome.
I mean,
yeah, that's still.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Claudia.
No, when you were talking about how your wife kicks your butt in Mario Kart, my sister.
Oh, dude.
When I had the 64, I had a black control, gray control, and a red one, and I had this big fight stick, and we all played Diddy Kong Racing. And my sister would whip my ass every single time. She would beat me, and I'd tell her, "Get out of my room! Just get out! Get the hell out of here!"
Oh, dude, Diddy Kong Racing, that was my jam back then.
They need to bring that one back too, man. They got to.
Yeah. Diddy Kong Racing, I agree.
They need to bring back
they need to bring
mode.
back it.
Add adventure mode to Mario Kart. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, I'm terrible at Mario Kart. My wife she's also a big Nintendo gal. She grew up with Nintendo, Super Nintendo. We still have a GameCube, but I never played that thing. But
that's cool. I got one too.
GameCube is actually really cool. But like she's always so much better at Mario Kart than I am, and all the Mario Karts. But there was this one time I was beating her. I always pick Yoshi. I demand to pick Yoshi. I will not pick anyone else. And she always picks Princess. And like, I swear, there was this one time I was actually beating her. I don't know what happened. It was in the Mario Kart 64. And I guess for whatever reason, she rage quit. She got mad. And just before I was about to win, she turned the system off. I was like, "You've got to be kidding me. I've never beat you." And she's so competitive. That's the thing. She's extremely competitive.
She didn't let you win.
She didn't let me win. I'm like, this doesn't count. I'm like, you rage quit, which is like frowned upon in the gaming world. You don't rage quit. You got to take the L. But so I never actually officially beat her. Yeah, you got to take the L.
You should know that the wife doesn't let you win, but you let the wife win.
Yeah.
So,
dude, I don't let my wife win. She's good. Like, she's competitively good.
Yeah, it's scary. It is scary.
Yeah.
But she.
But you know what? That's good though. You got a wife that's good at gaming, then good.
She's especially good at Donkey Kong. So like she can pretty much like speed run through Donkey Kong 1, 2, and 3, and for the Super Nintendo.
Wow.
It's actually scary. It's like one of the hardest. Those are the hardest games to play. I think.
Yeah, they are
Extremely hard games to beat. Without, you know, she'll lose a couple rounds.
Did she
but
like
she can speed run it?
Did she like Tropical Freeze?
That's cool.
Tropical Freeze?
Is it called Tropical Freeze? The one for that was on the Wii U and then ported on the Switch.
That one I don't think we've ever, because I never played. We don't have the Wii for. Retro, did you guys have that one?
I don't have the Wii U, but I have the Donkey Kong Country Returns for the Wii. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Because you use the Joy-Con to like push the button, not the Joy-Con, the Wiimote, and then you sit there and you move it like this, and he'll hit the ground, or you push like one of the A and Bs, and he'll blow the little dandelions, and then you get your coins and stuff. It's really cool. It's all interactive with the Wiimote.
I can tell you my experience with that franchise. I probably set a record for the amount of times you can die in a single level. So
those games they're hard. They're hard games.
They are hard.
They're not for kids. I'm sorry. They're not for kids.
Hey, but the soundtracks on them are like out of this world.
Yeah, they're the greatest of all time. They're the GOAT soundtracks. Yeah.
I could just listen to the soundtracks and be cool.
I actually have it on my I'm dating myself now, but I actually have some of it on my iPod. Yes, I do have an iPod still.
An iPod? What's that?
This is my iPod Nano right here.
Oh man!
Oh my goodness.
Remember these?
Come here, buddy.
Got this is my old iPod Touch right here.
Okay.
Did you have fun at grandma's?
Old school.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
So what are you guys streaming right now? What's like the main game you're streaming these days for anyone who's streaming?
Well, tomorrow night I'm gonna be streaming this game right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Eternal Darkness on the GameCube.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be streaming that tomorrow. It's one of the games that I buy and never play, but I love it. So I'm gonna stream it tomorrow night. Switch. Yes, they do. They gotta either remake it or do a part 2. I don't know, but they gotta do something with that.
Oh, need air.
I don't know if you guys noticed on my channel, I haven't been streaming lately. That's because I've been having some internet issues, and I lost my mic I didn't lose it. My mic didn't work for a while, so I had to go back to my older mic, but I finally found it.
Okay.
I'm going to try streaming again next week. My usual Super Mario Maker 2, usually. That's my jam.
That's cool.
And I guess
when streaming coming up? Can you hear us?
Have you guys ever did a comparison of the size, like what they can fit in a game now? I mean, honestly,
yes.
That's
crazy.
And then you look at the Game Boy Advance cartridge, it's still smaller. Like all that information into like that little bitty thing. Look at the size difference.
They went from the super huge ones all the way down to the same little micro SD card kind of thing.
Literally that's all it is like a little micro SD card.
Yeah. And people underestimate the power of the Switch. Like it is I don't know. Is it more powerful? It's more powerful than the Vita was, right?
Yes.
So
people underestimate how powerful of a handheld it really is.
Yeah.
I've seen the jailbroken ones where they're playing like PS2, PS1, 64. They're completely like unlocked in or whatever, and they've completely just repurposed it just for emulation. And it plays a lot of the systems like GameCube and stuff.
It blows my mind what people can do nowadays.
Well, and there's an emulator out for the Nintendo Switch. It's currently like updating, and I was like, geez, people are like sharking it. But I've seen an emulator running with it, and they've actually taken some of the games and fixed some of the flaws in them. You know, like on the new Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, the remake, how when you walk it blurs. Well, people have taken it and dumped the game onto the computer and smoothed out all the like when you walk how it blurs. They took all that out, like they recoded the game.
Oh yeah, interesting. I did see that.
My computer is okay.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say my computer's okay. I tried running it, but it runs okay. It's cool.
I was gonna ask you guys, what was you guys' reaction when you guys just first heard about the Switch or seen that video of the Switch?
Have you not watched my reaction there, Cloudy? I mean, I was pretty pumped. Okay, so I have a little story behind that. At the time, I was working third shift, and I was exhausted. I was up all night, and then I found out they were going to unveil the Switch that day in that little small video. So I stayed up for it, and I don't even know what I was looking at realistically. I was like, what is this? You know? But man, I was super pumped. I had to go back and look at it a couple times after I got some sleep. But yeah, I didn't know what Nintendo was doing. I was like, this is going back to like the Wii era where they unveiled like the remote controller, you know, kind of thing. But you know, that's what I like about Nintendo. They're innovative. You know, they do stuff that's different outside the box. It's not just about horsepower with them, you know, and I think that's why I like them the most.
I kept telling people, I said, about freaking time, because I had a Super Nintendo and I had a Game Boy, and I had this thing called Super Game Boy, where I could play my Game Boy games on my Super Nintendo. And so like my parents will be like, oh, we gotta go over here. I'm like, all right, cool. Pop it out, put it in my Game Boy, and let's go. And for years I wondered, why haven't we had something like this, until I saw the Switch. And I was like, yo, my wife's like, oh my God, really? I go, yes, this is it. This is what I need. I showed my nephews and nieces and they got one. My son has one. Recently, my 5-year-old got one because of Animal Crossing. So everybody has a Switch, man. I love the Switch.
But you can't find them anymore nowadays, right?
No, not right now.
Yeah, they think they're like sold out worldwide right now.
Yeah.
And they're not making any right now. Now, the production.
Oh, Retro. You there?
Retro?
He for not have a Nintendo Switch. I would just join his stream or whatever. You got to get in it. I was like, I'll wait. You know, I've waited for all the updates, the bugs. Because, you know, with the new system, there's always going to be some kind of bugs. And so I waited, and there was like no bugs, no glitches. I waited for a whole year. So my wife and I were like, just get one. So we got one, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I kind of felt behind, honestly, but what Nintendo does is pretty cool, because when their systems come out, even if you wait like a year or more, you're not behind. It's just you play and you're right where everybody else is at. It's just figuring it out. It took me a good couple months to get down like all the controls, what the Joy-Cons do, what they don't do. And then figuring out that you can sync up the Joy-Cons to your phone like you can with the Wiimotes. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I've seen that app.
So
do you guys think
you can use your phone.
Oh, go ahead, Retro.
I was gonna say they have I know with the Just Dance you can use your phone as a Joy-Con, but they also have an app that you can use the Joy-Con from your phone and sync it up to there. Or like different apps, you can remap the Joy-Cons to your phone, because I think they're like Bluetooth, and you can Bluetooth them to your phone and just use them as a remote.
Looks like your camera's freezing a little bit, Retro.
Oh, everybody's is on my end. I don't ever see anybody talking. It's just frozen. Everybody's.
I can see one up moving and see yeah, I can see everyone else moving.
You all are frozen.
You're frozen on ours.
Yeah, for real. You're thinking.
Am I still frozen?
Hey, guys, real quick, what's going on with your thoughts on okay, we all love our Switch, we all love our Ninja. What's your system right now? It's PlayStation, right?
Yeah, right now I'm on PS4.
PS4, so it's PS4. Yeah. How about the PS5 and that Xbox? What do you guys think of those now? The new one's coming up.
For me, I mean, I didn't get my PS4. I got the PS4 Slim, but I didn't get it till like maybe a couple years after like the PS4 came out. I think 2013. So I didn't get it till like maybe when they actually came out with the Slim. I think it was like 2015 or 16. It was. Believe it or not, up until then I was still playing PlayStation 2. But usually I'm interested in it. I mean, I know the graphics are gonna be like, I don't know how much better they're gonna be from PlayStation 4. From what I understand, it's gonna be like real life people now.
It's a movie.
I think the thing is that I always like to wait at least a year or two before getting a system, because you got to work out the, kind of like what Retro said, you got to work out the bugs. Plus the system's going to be so expensive. Like I remember when the PS3 dropped, it was like $500-$600, and it had like super glitches on it. You know, although I wouldn't mind a PS3 now. The piano black one is like super collectible. But I'm interested in it. I think they're going a different direction with the white controller. It actually kind of reminds me of more of an Xbox kind of controller, which I'm cool with the idea of it. I'm just curious to see what kind of catalog they're gonna come out with, because right now they already got the Resident Evil remakes coming already out, and I think they could have maybe even saved that for the PS5, because you know the Resident Evil games are pretty cool with the remakes. But I'm interested to see how it's gonna. I wouldn't be getting it probably for like another year or so. Xbox, I don't even watch Xbox news, but I think Xbox is an awesome system too. I think right now, I wouldn't say there's any system that's better than the other. It's just personal preference, I think, at this point. It's not like where back in the day you could say Super Nintendo had better graphics than Sega, or, you know, PS2 had better graphics than Dreamcast. I think they're pretty much matched up in terms of, you know,
I don't
power.
think power is a thing for me anymore, or system. I think it's about the game itself.
Right,
Because
exactly.
recently they've been saying that I've been watching Obi-Wan, of course, again and again and again, but he's dogging out PlayStation so much and talking some like how slow it is or whatever. Xbox is more superior, all this, but it's not. I keep thinking, dude, it's not about the power anymore, dude. Like,
Yeah.
relax. But
Well,
I like them. It's great, but it's about the game.
If you think about it, like I have more fun with the Nintendo consoles, and it's never been about the power. It's always been about the games. That's why what makes Nintendo so special.
Yes.
So, I always play like Xbox to have like, you know, to play those high end games, but like I always go back to my Nintendo console every single time. So, you know, it's been about the games for me as well.
Yeah, same here. Same here. The only reason why I jumped on a 360 because at the time I was working at Best Buy, and a lot of people were turning in their PS3s. They were overheating. This is before the Ring of Death on the 360, and they kept turning them in. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna get a 360, and I just fell in love with Microsoft. Just recently had a PS4. I like it. It's cool. I mean, I like the games because of the games. The graphics. If I really wanted graphics, man, I'll go ahead and put $1,000 on a PC and go bonkers on that, you know. But as far as the PS5, I'm looking forward to getting that. I want to jump on that early, not day one, but you know, early. See how the bugs work out with that, and I believe they'll release The Last of Us 2 on there. They got to release, because since the Switch came out with a banger with the Zelda game, they got to come out with a banger day one with the PS5.
Last of Us 2 was supposed to be out this month, but everything's getting pushed back now.
Yeah, I think they'll release that game with the PS5.
And everything's going to cloud gaming. So physical gaming is going to be like, just personally, this is just my opinion, because everybody's going to cloud gaming. I think Nintendo will stick to still doing the actual games and cloud gaming, like with the cartridges or being able to download from the eShop. I think that'd be a win, because.
Do you know how this is happening right now? Like we have a couple of like, let's say like right now as we talk to you, Retro, sometimes some of the videos slow. Internet's not always working properly, and whoever's end, or a Smash Bros game, something like that's happening where there's a lot of lag. So cloud gaming is not going to be the thing anytime soon. They haven't perfected it because not everyone has the greatest internet, so not everyone's going to want this cloud gaming because your shit might just freeze like that. And you're like,
look what happened with Stadia. That's 100% cloud gaming.
Yeah.
And it's failing because no one wants that right now. I'm a collector.
Not doing well.
Like I like the thing. And plus, you know, cloudy mine.
PS5 will have. PS5. They want to go all digital, but like for me, I want something I can hold in my hands, because if that crashes, I know I can re-download it, but I don't have a system. Right here, I still got Super Nintendo. Right here, I still got the Switch and the games. I still have those things. Yeah. I know I bought digital games on my Switch, but I have a library of games that are, well.
And that's why I hate only online games, because yes, you can have fun, you can play the games, but if that company goes out of business and they shut down, you're stuck. That's why I tell my son.
You got a bad storm.
I keep telling my son, yo, you better stop playing Fortnite. Stop being addicted to Fortnite, because when Fortnite's gone, it's gone.
Hey,
it's done.
I play Fortnite, so I can't say nothing.
No. Me too. But I'm saying these people that invest so much on Fortnite and buying this and buying that, dude, it's not physical. You're gonna lose it. It's gonna be gone. Once Epic gets their money and leaves, that's it.
Well, like one of my favorite online games was, I don't know if you guys remember, Assassin's Creed had some multiplayer before. My God, I loved playing those. But like now that no one plays them, they're like dead, so I can't play them anymore, which stinks. Yeah. But like that's what happens, and if they come out with a new iteration, the previous game gets left behind. Yeah. And that's my biggest issue with online games. And I also don't like these free-to-play games as much, because now we're getting into like microtransactions, and I really hate those.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's a pet peeve of mine. Yeah, I don't like microtransactions. And plus, you want to be able to still blow in the cartridges. Anybody still do that? Is that still a thing?
Oh, hey.
Apparently that never. Apparently it never worked, but you know, we still do it.
Q-tip and alcohol. Sometimes I use cologne.
It worked though.
It worked.
It's like alcohol, right?
It's like alcohol. It worked.
I think for me, my feelings about, I think it's cool to have online gaming, but I think you got to still have the physical. I don't think it's going to be a long time before they're ever going to have where it's just online for everything, because there's so many issues that can happen with like you said, the weather or anything can knock you off. Now you're not going to be able to play your games. You're going to be sitting bored, you know. If anything, that's kind of like moving backwards, not forward. And I personally like having physical copies. I do have a couple online games for the PS4, but I do most of my games for the PS4 are, you know, physical CDs still. I don't know, I like looking at them on the shelf. I don't know.
Yeah, I have an entire shelf right here, if you can see in my background. So there it is.
Exactly. It looks good. I like it. See?
Yeah, I'm definitely more of a physical collector myself. I try not to buy digital if I can.
A lot of us were born in like the 80s and early 90s. So for us, physical is like is the thing. My nephew, he's all digital because he was born after that. So I'm just like, no, dude, what happens if your games console crashes, man? I still got mine. You got yours. You come over to my house when yours crashes.
Who's the youngest in here right now?
Well, how old are you guys?
I'm about to hit 40 in August.
Holy crap.
So I'm born in the greatest year of all time, 1985, the year of Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, yeah.
So I'm 34 now, but I turned 35 the end of November this year. So yeah, I'm an 80s baby, 90s kid.
Well, I'm pretty sure that I'm probably the youngest of this group. I was born in '88, so that makes me 32.
32.
Oh, so we're all like the same age group.
Body?
Yeah.
No,
so
we're not, because I'm in the 40s.
So
bro.
I was born in 1983.
I'm 42.
Oh,
42?
Really? You're 42?
Yeah, man. Yeah, 1978. Wow. 1978.
Dude, you don't even look 42, buddy.
That's pretty good. 42 at all.
You look like you're my age, dude.
That's because of these games, man. These games. That's what it is. These games.
Hey, I'm 36. I'll be 37 this year.
Awesome.
Wow.
All right, so we're all 80s babies, 90s kids.
Yeah, 80s.
Kind of, for the most part.
Yeah, 80s, early 90s. So we know.
Which explains our passion for retro and physical gaming. So.
Exactly.
Yep. And physical games.
Man, I think how did you guys feel about the removal of arcades? Like down here in Miami, we had this place called Funorama, and it was open literally from 6 a.m. to like midnight, and it was just like packed with, you know, people going there, play late night games. Especially Mortal Kombat 2 just came out, and people were standing in line to play that one. Street Fighter, you know.
And Cloudy,
yeah,
I don't have to imagine it, because in my hometown we have an arcade place called Playport. Has all these retro cabinets, and you just you pay $10 to get in. You can play unlimited for as long as you want. It's amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my son loves that place.
That's awesome.
Playing the old school like Mario games and what was that? Mortal Kombat. Oh my gosh, it was great.
Yeah,
what?
Here in Wisconsin, we got about I just found out some locations in Wisconsin since I just jumped the border. I was living in Illinois by the border, and just moved over to the next town, Wisconsin. So I'm finding all these arcade places that I didn't know we had. So I wanted to start venturing out, but now I can't because, of course, what happened. So right before the week before everyone was getting laid off, I drove to Ohio to go pick up a 1983 Mario Bros. Arcade that my friend that I bought for my friend Mason. You guys know Mason. So having that arcade here, oh man, it's like amazing that when I played as a kid, but now I have one. One of it says on the back of it, so it's a plaque. It's a metal plaque says "Made in Japan," which feels so good that it's made in Japan, and it's just 1983, and it says number 4. I don't know what that means. Is that the 4th one made?
Yeah, that's the 4th one.
Wow.
Wow.
It's just a 19, and it plays. I'm gonna have to show an in-depth video on that arcade itself.
Yeah, you got to show a video on it. I would love to check it out.
Oh yeah,
that'd be awesome.
You guys live near Wisconsin?
My mom is she's from Milwaukee. She's a cheesehead.
Oh yeah, if you ever guys come down for sure.
I'm from the Northeast. I'm originally from Connecticut, but yeah, my mom she's a born and raised cheesehead.
Yeah, I'm learning to be one right now.
Hey, but Triforce Johnson's played in your arcade, Mr. Switch.
Oh yeah, I realized that too. I know that Triforce played it when Mason had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just texted me just now. Sometimes we just talk, chit chat.
That's nice.
In conversation.
The only arcade I know of in California is it inside of Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Oh,
that's the only one, and they have it's Namco and Nintendo, and it's Mario Kart. Like you can play Mario Kart in the arcade, and they have that and a bunch of other classic games. So that's the only place I know of that I live here, so I'm like, there's nothing, no arcades.
Yeah.
Like, boo.
In Connecticut, so growing up here in the 90s, there was a go-to place for us that was maybe like 20 minutes away from where I lived. It was called what was it called? It was called Smiles. It was kind of a cheesy name because they used to be called Milford Amusement Center, and they had you would walk in there, you'd see Virtual Cop, Killer Instinct, like everything. It was just Yeah. So if I behaved myself, and this was me in middle school, if I behaved myself, my brother behaved, my mom would give us some quarters, my father would give us some quarters, and you'd be like, go have fun. So we would go, and I remember, this is a quick, funny story. So I remember when Killer Instinct Part 2 came out, and Killer Instinct Part 1 was like the bomb. It was, even to this day, it's still like one of the dopest arcade games of all time for fighting. And when Killer Instinct Arcade Part 2 came out, there was a long line to play the game. And I remember there's this one dude, he was just like beating everybody. He must have had like the Game Pro book or something, like memorized or something. But he was beating everybody, and every time you want to get next, you had to put the quarter on the screen to like, I got next. Oh. He was wiping the floor with everybody, but they closed that arcade, I think, back in 2005. And since then, it was been nothing for arcades here in Connecticut, almost like nothing. And Connecticut's a small state. It's a real small state. But right now, the closest I have I don't know if you already saw any of my videos, but I have the arcade one up. I got suckered into it, I know. But when I first got the arcade one up, I didn't really care for it too much because it was like, I didn't like the quality. So I stripped everything off of it. I put did hap buttons, hap joystick, the whole thing. At first I put a Raspberry Pi, but then I put like a miniature computer in there so I can stream, like I can play Killer Instinct now on there.
That's dope.
So when you mod the thing, I think it makes it worth it. But I think buying it as it is kind of like not worth it too much. But Retro, Cool Toy. When I first learned about Arcade 1-Up through Cool Toy, his videos. So I was like, this is kind of neat having a little miniature arcade for like your living room, because my wife would never let me get a real size one in my house. She'll kill me.
They're huge.
They're like 4,000 pounds. I wanted to buy one,
but I don't have room right now. They're heavy.
As far as the 1-Up, I almost got the Ninja Turtle one, but I was like, nah.
Yeah, you gotta mod it. That's the thing. To make it worthwhile, you gotta mod it, I think.
The only thing I mod is fight sticks. I'm in love with buying a fight stick and just switching out the buttons. Okay. Are you a Sanwa boy or a Hat boy? I like the crown buttons.
Okay.
I had the Submitsus. I had
Sanwas,
but something about the crown. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
The snap. I don't know.
I like the clicks. Yeah. I love Hap. Hap is like one of my favorites. Like the competition joystick and everything, 8-way.
Okay.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I'm with love with the opening up the fight stick and switching the buttons around and custom art, and I love that.
So it seems like you guys should come to my hometown and play some arcade.
I know.
Seriously.
Send the address.
There was a place. Okay, so we went down to Florida a couple years ago on our honeymoon. Actually, we went to Orlando. There's a place down there. I think it was called Round One. No, what was it called? It was called Round One. It's a video game bar.
Okay.
So you pay to get in, and they have every single console. They have Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, everything, and they had arcades in there, and you can drink. And oh my gosh, it's a gamer's dream, dude. If you ever go down to Orlando, I would recommend checking that out.
Yeah, if ever this situation that we're going through ends, that would be that'd be a good spot. Yeah, I see it right now. Wow, bowling and amusement. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, in Connecticut they have, it's called Barcade. If you guys look it up, it's in New Haven. It's called Barcade, where it's like a bar, and they have you get to buy tokens at the bar while drinking your beer or whatever. It's actually a cool concept. Yeah.
That's cool. I think in Fort Lauderdale, because I live in Miami, I think in Fort Lauderdale they have a bar / arcade.
Sorry, it was called what was it? Player One, not Round One.
Okay.
There we go. Round One's something different.
So guys, how you guys doing with this? This kind of get ready to wrap up soon, but I wanted to ask, how's everyone doing with this coronavirus, and how's it affecting you in gaming? Just if you want to express anything, you guys need help. What's happening?
I mean, as far as gaming goes, no, I've been playing a lot more games because of this.
It's a cool part.
I mean, because this freaking Animal Crossing, I have like almost 260 hours in this game.
I swear.
Yes.
I swear Nintendo planned this out perfectly, because that game came out
I've never played
time.
an Animal Crossing game. I would see it. I'm like, bro, it's for the birds. Who is gonna play this crap? I'm into shooters and stuff like that, and I got it, man, and I just got sucked in. It's but work and but real life work wise, it's affected my job. As a truck driver, we didn't get laid off. They just told us to stay home. So right now I'm working a little part time here, still getting paid from the old job. I'm trying to get some extra money. My wife works from home. She's a rep, nursing home rep. So I mean, we're good as far as that. But as far as gaming, man, my Switch is like, damn, again.
All right, what about One Up?
It's not affecting my job that much because I'm a mailman. So
my dad's one too.
Yeah, and we don't stop. Even if it was a zombie apocalypse, we would deliver mail. So
Left 4 Dead.
that's my running joke with this whole thing. I was like, oh, we run no matter what happens out there. So that's not affected. My wife's a teacher. She's only subbing right now. So she's contracted until the end of this month. So then she won't have a paycheck. But it's business as usual. She's home with my son and whatever, and because she's a teacher, she's homeschooling him, and he loves that. But as far as gaming is concerned, I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing. I've never played so much of one game at one time. I'm like almost up to like 70 hours. You
guys always messing with me in that game.
Yeah, and I'm like you, Claudia. This was my first game. I've never been interested in the series at all. I always thought it was a dumb series. I'm like, oh, this is really boring, But I think the whole crafting element got me hooked on it, and that's what kind of drew me in when I first saw the first trailer, and then the direct really sold me, and so I was like, okay, I'm getting this game, and then it came out, and been playing it ever since. I have a hard time putting it down, really.
I was gonna get Doom Eternal. For some reason, I thought Doom Eternal was gonna be on the Switch, but it wasn't. So then the guy at GameStop was like, I was telling him, look, just tell me about this Animal Crossing. What's the big deal? So he started describing it, relaxing game. And I've been stressed out because of this whole situation, So I said, you know what? I'll take it. I'll get it. And then plus Mr. Switch streamed it that one night. I said, you know what? F it. 3 o'clock in the morning, just downloaded it, went to sleep, woke up, and just the addiction started.
It's dangerous. Very
what about
dangerous.
QA? What about you?
Well, for me, I'm in IT, so it's kind of like business as usual. Like pretty much like where I work from home. I would normally go into the office to commute. But because of this, we can just work from home in front of our laptop. So it really hasn't impacted me too much, thank God. And my wife is actually a teacher too, so she teaches. She's a middle school teacher, and it's kind of weird because they're doing like virtual learning. I don't know in all the states are doing it, but in Connecticut they're doing virtual learning. So now,
they're starting out here too.
Yeah.
Hey, what is your shirt saying? Someone's asking.
Oh, it says level 30 complete. So my wife got this shirt for me when I turned 30 years old.
Nice.
And I just loved it. So I had to bring it. It's like my only gaming shirt that I own, so I wanted to wear it.
Were you gonna finish off Ninja? Were you trying to say?
Oh yeah, I was just saying that in terms of, so for me it's like business as usual. I'm just pretty much working from home, which is kind of boring because I do like human interaction, you know, but hoping to get back in the office eventually whenever this ends. And my wife, I don't think she'll be back in school building the rest of the year. I'm pretty sure they'll be out the rest of the year doing the virtual learning. In terms of games right now, I really just been just on my PS4 playing Street Fighter Championship Edition 5, Street Fighter 5. Been trying to get better at it.
Fight stick or pad?
Pad, I gotta step my game up.
Okay.
I gotta step my game. I'm actually not that great at Street Fighter. I'm okay. I usually always pick Ken or Ryu.
Okay.
But I think the game that I'm probably best at would probably be like Killer Instinct Arcade.
Oh,
I'm pretty good at Killer Instinct.
I love that series.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But so I'm on that right now, and then I might move over back to like Mortal Kombat, 11. I've been like in a fighting combat mood, and then I've been also playing a lot of Resident Evil games lately because of the whole zombie apocalypse coming up.
Hey,
You and I are friends already.
Yeah.
We're training.
I'm trying to play with somebody Resident Evil on Switch, but nobody has it.
Yeah.
Hey, Retro, what's up with you?
I work a couple jobs. So my first job, I actually go in there because the schools provide lunches for the kids in the community. So we're out there making the lunches and serving the kids. So, and then my other job, we're working from home, which is kind of cool because we just check in for 15 minutes and then they give us a task for the week and then we do that. And then, but we got all our supplies, we got the things we need. I've been making sure to, like, I don't let the family go out anywhere because, just want to keep them home safe. And then we homeschool the kids, which is cool because my wife, she's going to school to be a teacher anyway. So for her, it's been really cool because then we have a whole schedule set up for the kids, like if from 8 o'clock all the way down to 3 o'clock. That way they're still on a regular routine of going to school. And as far as video games, it's ridiculous. So many games because on the Switch, they're all on sale. So it's like buy, and then you just play. And it's like, there's so many games right now that you don't even know what to play. It's like, go to work and they're telling me what game you playing today? And I'm like, I don't know, too much.
Listen, really quick, this game right here. Let me see. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Hold it still.
Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th
Oh.
is $12 on the eShop.
Really?
$12 right now at the eShop.
Dang.
I have that for the PC. It's a good game. I have it for the PC.
I have it for the Xbox also.
I wouldn't mind it, but I'm trying to get Assassin's Creed, that 2 game pack for like $20 or something like that.
Okay. $12.
All right, wait, Retro. Okay, I'm gonna pretty much say my part real quick, based on how this coronavirus is kind of of course, it's affecting a lot of us. For me, just kind of, I see the news every day. You gotta watch out for all the fake, for all the whatever. A lot of it's so much garbage, and I don't want to get into politics and all that, but some of it's just like what you see. Man, can these people handle this? People are trying to scare you. When I go out, of course, I always wear my mask now, and like right now, we just got in Wisconsin. They said the entire month of May we're gonna be still, and we gotta stay home. There's no work opening up, so it's just like, man, another month. I'm not working because I was working at a gym. The Mrs. Switch, we call her. She's one of those essential workers that she works in a food, like kind of food industry. They in the whole area, they sent out these orders. She's got to make sure the orders make it on to the the shippers, and they ship out to the companies that order food products from her. So she's got to keep her job, and like she works from home. So I hooked her up her computer. I went to go get her printer and all this stuff to make her comfortable, so that way she can keep getting the food to everyone in the area, because she's out of her and her friends. So it's like the job is actually like 2 minutes from here, but just the fact that like she has to be gunning in, she's frustrated. A lot of it's just a pain in the ass to see what she goes through. So I do everything. I clean the house. I do all the dishes. I'm the maid right now, so I take care of it. I cook some food. She'll help me out and kind of thing, just to help everything work out. I mean, gaming. I'm enjoying my gaming. It's just, it's awesome playing. Next week I'm probably gonna live stream every single day next week. Just with how things are turning out. My parents are bugging for the baby. They want to take Luigi for a while. So we're all being careful, making sure no one's sick and what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna miss my little guy for a long time. It's like I miss him already, knowing he's still with me right now, but just miss him knowing he's gonna go. But yeah, it's just like all these things are just happening quickly, but we're also kind of a little scared of, I don't know. Like I said, I ain't trying to be the tough boy, but it is kind of frightening at times, depending on what you hear. But at the same time, hopefully things will get back to normal in a couple of months. The kids are not finishing school. Well, the kids are, but like there's no more school, I guess, the rest of the year. I don't know about you guys if you guys have kids, but other than that, it's just kind of, just the way things, I mean, I'm easy. It's cool. I do feel I'm a little pissed. I would admit a little depression on my part, only to the fact that, man, I'm gonna tell you, this is some bullshit. I'm gonna say it like this. I started the new year, started with the Gamerz gym, and I was doing this. I dropped from like January 1st to February, mid-February, I dropped 17 pounds, guaranteed I gained that back already. So I'm like, damn, shit. So, and that's why, like,
same, I dropped 20 pounds and it's already back.
I'm telling you, man. So that's why I'm like, how do you do it at home? That's the thing that's affecting me, I think, right now. I got to figure out a plan. I'll open the fridge, there's pizza pockets and all this shit there. I got beers here. Like, damn. So it's like, it's cool, but it's like, I'm enjoying
my job. Huh? You need my job. I walk about 14 miles a day.
Oh, I wish I could have that right now so I could just lose some weight, man. But it's just like, I got to think of a plan indoors, what I'm going to do to figure that out. But other than that, I still do see what we're doing now. I'm going to say it this way. This is fucking awesome. And I never really swear these days, but now I'm just doing it, I did label it not for kids.
Let it rip.
This is exciting to know that we brought ourselves to this point here. I don't want this to be, I've been wanting to do this before. Claudia started reminding me about this. Retro's always been around. Ninja, you've been around. All you guys have been around. One Up. I wanted to get more people involved, but later. But I think what we're doing now is important for us to, it's like keeping our minds focused. And, how do you guys feel? You guys like this feeling, doing what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely, 100%.
So, like,
yeah, definitely.
I never thought I'd be doing this, but I'm just trying to say this real quick. This is just because I'm helping, or we're all putting this together, or I'm not trying to be, I am not, how do you say, the top guy here. We are, all of us here right now, we are everyone is the, how do you say, we're all the host. I don't want, you guys to think that I'm the host. I'm not. We are all the hosts. This is about all of us, about you, me. This is Retro, Claudia, my Ninja, One Up, myself, anyone else who joins in. At the same time, we do want to be careful who else we involved at times. And sometimes you get little tricky people, sometimes with a text, or they'll come in, and I hear stories about people coming in and then showing their privates and crap like that. I hear weird things happening with this program, so we got to be careful who we bring in. They might want to show their ass for a second. Don't do that, guys. But yeah, you guys.
That would be frowned upon.
It is not for kids. It's labeled so. But I'm gonna finish off with that. But you guys go ahead and finish any finishing statements. That way we can. Looks like we got about, we'll be an hour and a half in 10 minutes, so we can finish up in 10 minutes.
I just want to say something real quick. I had zero motivation to do YouTube. I wanted to quit like so many times. And you guys kept me, like when I found you, Mr. Switch, and then all you other guys that followed, you guys kept me motivated to do this. It's something fun I like to do in my spare time. I really enjoy it. I enjoy us talking about games because I don't really have anybody else to talk to about video games. So it's really nice to have people to actually talk to and play games with and enjoy with. So I just thank you guys for allowing me to be part of this group, and it's an honor to be part of this group today. So
yeah,
likewise.
Ditto.
Definitely.
Anyone else want to go ahead?
When I first started the Nintendbros, remember when we had it on YouTube, the YouTube chat? Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Mr. Switch?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I saved the screenshots from some of those. This is the memory because I like to just look back on things, you know. And it's been kind of an adventure because I got to know like a lot of cool people, like all you guys. And it's kind of cool getting connected with like-minded people, even though we're into different systems. We're all kind of like-minded, and we want to share like a positive feel on like the gaming community. And so it's kind of cool to meet people like that and just to be able to have an experience with them. So it's been pretty cool, and it's kind of awesome. My wife even said, she goes, "Babe, you know how many friends you have or your online friends?" And she goes, "Man, that's not bad." And I said, "Yeah, it's true." I said, because I mean, I'm very social. So at work I have friends, but it's like my core people are like you guys, like my gaming friends. So you guys are like the core people that like I'm constantly either chatting with or put in the Nintendbros feed. So it's definitely a cool thing to be connected with other gamers, because where I live, there's gamers, but you would never know. Like you would literally never know they were gamers unless you talk to them. They don't talk about it openly for some reason. It's like they're afraid someone might think they're a nerd or something. I'm like, I'm sorry. Every person. I told people at work when I found out they were all into gaming and they were talking, I said, "I'm sorry. I might outwardly look like a geek, but you're still a geek anyway, and you're a nerd. So you might as well just confess it openly." But it's
nerds
cool,
rule, man.
Though.
Nerds rule.
Yeah. Hey, nerds rule the world. That's what I'm saying.
Look at Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, yeah. Steve Jobs.
Let's see how this looks. Okay. I'm seeing how this looks on YouTube.
Yeah, it looks all right.
But yeah, man, I feel the same way. One up. Like I got friends, I got people, you know, they're into video games, but they're like, you know, Call of Duty and, you know, Destiny, and they're just with that, you know, they don't play, you know, like, oh, let's play some Mario Kart or let's play something else, you know. Like, no, man, that's for the birds, man. That's
you mean they don't play Animal Crossing? Like, come on.
Oh my God. If I told these people I play Animal Crossing, it's over. It's over. But I would probably say, I want to say 2 years ago is when I said, you know what, man, this is why am I hiding that I like video games? Why, why am I hiding? So I'd say, you know what, let me just do a channel. I want to do a channel just based on video games. Watched a couple people online. I wish I would. And now when I see people like, let's say, for example, OJ from Player Essence? Who else? Obi-Wan Plays. These guys, I'm like, dude, I wish I would have done that 10 years ago. I didn't think this existed, you know? But then, you know, with life, I got 3 kids. I got an 18-year-old, I got a 14-year-old, I got a 5-year-old, you know? So it's kind of hard to, you know, maintain a family and playing video games all the time, you know what I mean? But thank God my wife is very supportive of my hobby. She's like, at least you're not an alcoholic. You know, you're not in the streets like that no more. You're just home and just, you know, with the family, and what makes you happy makes me happy. So I'm thankful for that. But but for really quick, I'm just thankful for you know, for Mr. Switch and you guys for having me here, man, because this is a good outlet right here. You know, you guys are cool, and you know, hopefully we can just keep this going, you know.
Yeah,
hey man,
definitely.
Huh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give me a tissue right now. It's nice, man. It's like I got someone in the text saying they about to cry.
It's getting a little emotional here.
Yeah, for real.
It's good. It's good.
Hey, just because we're men doesn't mean we don't have feelings, guys. Come on.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm emotional. I'm in it.
We ain't robots, buddy.
Oh, all right. Anyone else? Want to? I mean, keep going, guys. It's okay. We still got it.
Yeah, me, like, it's, you know, it's just really cool to get to like meet everybody and, you know, make buddies. I think the thing that's cool is kind of technology bringing us all together. Like, we're all in different states, you know, different sides of the country even, and we're all still kind of able to communicate and kind of like talk about things, which is pretty neat. You know, for me, I think I started the YouTube thing just really was just to put up a couple of videos when I noticed like some of the huge, bigger YouTubers were like, people would be asking questions in their comment section. They never would respond. I'm like, I bet I could help them with that. So, so I just put up a couple like my first couple videos are like real bad. They're like real cringeworthy, but like a couple bootleg videos, just answering some questions on like, I'm sure you guys all heard of him, ETA Prime.
Oh, I love ETA Prime.
He's an awesome YouTuber, but he's like so big. He's like so big to the point where he doesn't have time to be answering everybody. So I'm like, I know I can help out. So that's how I started the channel. It was really just to kind of answer questions, and then it kind of like started kind of, you know, I started like playing around with like retro gaming and stuff like that. So it started to evolve a little bit. But again, it's a hobby for me. So I don't really have too much time to like dedicate like say a Cool Toy who's putting out like stuff every other day.
Yeah.
Or some of my other favorite guys like Retro Rick, or obviously who else, Review Tech. All these guys put out videos like every day, and I just have fun putting out stuff, and you know, I think it's fun to like get comments on you know, when they say, oh, you know, you helped me out, or you know, something like that. It's just kind of nice, you know. I think video games just kind of help close, you know, make the world feel a lot smaller, which is kind of nice to have, you know. We got to do this more often. This is cool.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyone didn't speak?
No, I think that's everybody.
We're good.
Okay, yes, so far so good. I think as the next weeks go on, we'll just figure out. We're gonna keep doing it this way, and we'll keep talking and figure out when's the next one. We'll just to keep it at maybe once a week right now.
Yeah,
we're all busy, and then next week we'll figure out. This Friday and Saturday, are those like? Should that be a main day for any of you guys? Just either Friday or Saturday, or
yeah, Friday or Saturday. Saturday's good.
Yeah, Friday's good.
Yeah, Friday's good for me.
Yeah, so we'll just keep it at Fridays then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, and then so right now what I see, it's not too bad. I mean, there was watching this slightly a little lag on just certain videos. Maybe I don't know about my part. I know it's a little bit on retros, but
yeah, I had a little lag.
But it's okay. Maybe next time, it might be better. Or I'm just going to figure out like if I have certain things on, like I have my phone on. I turned off my phone so I don't have that running on the internet. I'll just shut a few things off so that way maybe I get more power on my PC or something like that, or you know, keep my Nintendo Switch off. But then I was trying to get the OBS Streamlabs to working with it. So in the next week or two, if I can get it working, then maybe being able to show everyone's videos and things like that as we talk about things, or the intros will be cool. But right now, like we'll keep it at this, and if I got any updates, I'll tell you about the updates, or just keep doing it this way. Did you guys see the pictures flash as I was doing them?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just I'm just learning more of these things and figuring out eventually. You guys see it, right?
Yep.
Eventually what we're gonna do, we can get up to about like we got 5 people. I think 5 people is kind of perfect right now, the way it is. We could have guest people pop up and see right now, and then we'll talk about it. See if we want to have one person pop up or someone who's asking. We'll see. We'll agree together if we want this person to come in. It's got to be an agreement, because you know, to say, okay, hey, should we get this guy in or this person in to join in for this stream? And if it runs good, like for 5 people, it seems good. You know, if we can get more, we'll see. But I don't know if we have too many, it's going to get too clogged or whatever. It gives the 5 of us enough time to speak. Again, if you guys got more ideas, if you guys want more people, again, there is a few people who have been asking. If anyone asks you, make sure they're worthy, that they're good friends of yours, and not someone's gonna talk a little smack or something like that. And we gotta keep this cool and
have to be worthy.
Yeah, level, you know, or however, just
hey, it's like Wayne's World. You're not worthy. You're not worthy.
Oh.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
I'm gonna get that on Google Play. That and you know what? Just saw real quick. I just saw yesterday. I didn't know it was there. I was searching for games. I didn't know they had the Lion King and Aladdin, those older games on the Switch.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, what? I was like, oh shit, for $20. So
it's not bad.
Might be doing that later today. Well, actually, probably not. I'm gonna go find out where Luigi is running around the house and grab him and put him to sleep. So other than that, he keeps trying to grab my controller. He goes after the Switch controller every day. And sometimes I wake up and it's not in my room. He's with it in the dining room or something like that. Give me my controller, dude. Come on, give it to me. Like if I run at him, I try to walk to him slowly because if I run, he'll run and then he'll throw it.
Yeah.
And then boom or something like that. But yeah, it's good times. Well, let's see. Yeah, it's about nine. I think we did an hour and a half. I think that was perfect. I think that was good.
Yeah, cool.
It's 10 o'clock my time. Just saying.
Is what?
It's 10 o'clock my time.
Yeah, me too. It's 10:01.
It's 7 o'clock my time. It's about dinner time right now.
Oh, yeah. You gotta go.
Enjoy, Retro.
I know,
You did say you gotta do your dinner. So, all right. Well, I mean, any closing statements? I just want to say thank you guys. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it, and I want to keep doing this. I'm glad I called out. We've been communicating, and if you know there's somebody else that you really want to get on here, just say we got room. I think we can get up to about 10 people at once. I mean, right now let's keep the 5, but if you really want somebody, bring them in. Let's talk. Let's bring them in. If you really know.
I know one person that I know that would definitely join the streams. That he did a collaboration with me last year.
Okay. What's his name? Or what's the name, Retro?
Wait, he might be breaking up.
Okay. Retro, let me see. Are you there? Are you there, Retro?
I know. Was it Blackassgamer was he had tweeted something.
Because I'm working on my channel. He had like 10,000 subs at the time, and he goes, "Oh, sure, we'll do one." I'm like, he's all, "You want to do one once a year at least?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, hook it up." Yeah. So yeah, he's cool. He's very open.
I didn't hear the name.
Retro, we didn't get to hear the name.
Oh, Cool Toy.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Cool Toy's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll
Cool
do
Toys.
collaborations and stuff. He's a really cool dude. And if I asked him if he wanted to join in on the stream,
let us. You're cracking right now. If you guys, I'll send you guys. Unless you guys already have the logos on the chat, use the logo, spread the word, or send it to. It's kind of cool. If you guys want changes in the logo, let me know because I have the guy making the logo. I do want more of expression behind it because I did call it Gamerz Realm, and I want to know. I didn't want to present that name Nintendbros 2 and do something behind the name. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Any ideas? Whatever. But yeah, I did. Claudio, you didn't mention Blackassgamer. He's dope. He's cool. He came to my house last August, so he's an awesome guy. So yeah, we can always consider all these guys for the next stream. But until then, you guys ready to cut this one loose?
yeah, I'm good.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone for jumping on, and you guys have a great night.
You too, guys.
Good
Take
night,
care.
fellas.
You guys
See
be
you,
safe,
fellas.
man.
Happy gaming.
Later, guys.
Happy gaming.
Friday.